Good evening. It is Wednesday, August 7th, 2024, and welcome to the Town of Carmel Town Board meeting. Tonight we have a public hearing and a voting meeting and a work session. I call this meeting to order, and I ask everybody to please rise and face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If everyone please remain standing for a moment of silence. Today is Purple Heart Remembrance Day, so let's all, in our hearts, remember those that have perished and also all those wounded soldiers, airmen, and sailors. Thank you. If our town clerk, Alice Daly, will please do a roll call attendance.
Councilman Kearns?
Present.
Councilwoman McDonough? Here. Councilman Lombardi? Here. Supervisor Cazzari?
Here. We are starting with a public hearing. It's a proposed local law amending Chapter 147 of the Town Code of the Town of Carmel, entitled Vehicle and Traffic. Alice Dilly, would you read the notice?
Notice of public hearing. Notice is hereby given that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel will conduct a public hearing at Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, 10541, on Wednesday, August 7th, 2024, at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter that evening as possible, on a proposed local law amending Chapter 147 of the Code of the Town of Carmel entitled Vehicles and Traffic, as follows.
So if there are no objections, I waive the reading of local law number 6 for 2024. This is regarding stop signs on Wixon Pond Road eastbound at Elm Drive, Wixon Pond Road westbound on Cook Drive, Bucks Hollow Road northbound on Bloomer Road, and Bucks Hollow Road southbound on Bloomer Road. Is there anyone who would like to get up for the public hearing? Oh, open public hearing. Thank you, Frank. Got a motion to open the public hearing. So moved.
Second.
Seconded by McDonough and Kearns. And all those in favor? Aye. So now the public hearing is open. If anyone would like to get up and... when you get to the microphone, would you say your full name and where you live, sir?
How you doing? My name is Esmond Osenjakic. Lived on 134 Wixon Pond Road since 1987 with my family. And I appreciate the opportunity to come and speak my voice at the town meeting and propose law to add stop signs to Wixon. My family and I have been residents, like I said, since 1987. And throughout those years, the road has been paved and maintained quite well for a relatively quiet road. But some areas that were once risky to speed on have now been flattened and widened on the road. Hence the uptick of some speeding in that area through the last 10 years or so. But there were hardly any efforts, if any, to quell the speeding. No slow signs, no hidden driveway signs, no radar speed signs, no speed bumps, and hardly any enforcement from the police. There are only 2 speed limit signs on the entire road, and they're far away from the open stretch at that new development called Wixon Pond Heights. I've sent pictures to the members last week. I'm not sure entirely if you guys have received them. By the time you hit that open stretch road, you'd almost forget that there was a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. It's the first speed limit sign is on the back end towards Old Long Pond, Hill Street. And that is around some curvy roads that go around the camp, the Girl Scout camp. And the other side is off of, I want to say, East Lake. That side where you could go onto Wixon, or North Lake, I confused those, sorry. And the speeding that usually takes place is by the heights, or when those curves stop towards the beginning of the lake. And it's really flat, and they created that new development called Wixon Pond Heights. And throughout those years, they've widened and flattened, and you would think you're on some country road in Tennessee. And the speeds are all relative to how close you are to everything around you. So as it gets narrower towards my house, towards 123 and 120 Wixon, that's where people start slowing down after, right at Elm. But right before, it's a free-for-all. And the pictures that I've taken for you guys, you can see some tire marks all the way down to the Wixon Pond Heights. The tire marks don't go on it between Elm and Cook. So it's almost as if the stop signs wouldn't actually stop the actual speeding. Now, and so to add random stop signs in different places on different ends of the road is like putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. If speeding is the issue, the proposal doesn't make sense. It seems to make an area between Elm and Cook a kind of a danger zone. Stop signs aren't recommended to stop speeding. It can have the opposite effect. Drivers often slow down when approaching a stop sign, but then speed up quickly to make up for lost time. In fact, speeds can increase within 150 feet of a stop sign. So when stop signs are used as speed breakers or deterrents, there's a lot higher likelihood of intentional violations and accidents. The Federal Highway Admissions Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, MUTCD, states that stop signs should never be used for speed control. Now, the safety concern, the increased danger of leaving the driveway with a one-side eastbound stop sign put right on Elm, is that the introduction of a sign for eastbound traffic will create a significant safety hazard for residents leaving their driveways. With one side of the traffic stopped and the other moving, the risk of collision will increase as drivers might misjudge the speed and distance of oncoming vehicles. The traffic flow, the inconsistent traffic flow, the uneven stopping pattern will lead to confusion among drivers, potentially causing sudden stops or acceleration, which increases the likelihood of accidents, particularly at night or during adverse conditions. Pedestrian safety. An eastbound only sign could give pedestrians a false sense of security, leading them to believe that all traffic will stop, while westbound vehicles will be moving. This poses a significant risk to pedestrians, especially children and elderly residents around the lake community of Wixon Pond. And I could just imagine a well-meant gesture to wave my mother ahead of a stopped driver, only to get T-boned leaving her driveway by someone still going at speed on the westbound. Stop signs can also increase the frequency of rear-end accidents and may not always be necessary. For example, stop signs may not be needed on streets with lower traffic volumes that intersect with streets with higher traffic volumes. Before installing the stop sign, the town may want to conduct an engineering study. I'm not sure what studies were taken to come to the conclusion of the stop signs placed in the places that they're proposed. And for these stop signs in confusing areas, there's a court of claims of waves where the town is liable for such confusing stop signs, for accidents or injuries thereof. So it's kind of putting your name on it, you know? And congestion and delays. The stop sign will create unnecessary congestion for eastbound traffic, causing delays and frustration among drivers. This could lead to increased instances of aggressive driving as motorists try to make up for lost time, as I've said. Who would have the right of way making a left on Elm? If that has no stop sign going westbound, and the stopped person who is going straight, so straightaway always has the right of way. No, but if the person,
You have a stop sign.
person without a stop sign has
Has
that
the right of way.
has that right of way. The road is narrow on that side, so many delivery trucks they do park right on that side of the road, and there's some safety with flow of traffic as well. So what happens on that road, because it's so narrow, and they can't widen that area because it's stone wall between homes. And the other places down the road where the Wixon Pond Heights was, they did flatten and widen it out. It seems much safer, but that's where the speeding is going on. So the cars parked there, usually when there's a delivery truck, a UPS, or a lawn care service parked there, the driver will go around. But if there's a stop sign there, people can't go around. There's many deliveries that take place, just like in any other area that way. I'm not here to squash the issue of speeding on the road. I agree with it. I'm the one who, I've made calls in the past about, particular instances of speeding. It's not the most common thing on earth, but when they do, people do take advantage of it. And you can hear it. I live on 134 Wixon, and that huge long road going down, that wide open, you can hear it half a mile away when they're starting to gain speed. So that's really where it starts. I think a speed radar sign would be proven to be effective. It reduces vehicle speeds by alerting drivers of their current speed and encouraging them to slow down. Consistent traffic flow, unlike stop signs. I'm talking about the one particular in Elm, because I see the one on Cook to be quite usable. I do, because it is a more of a area that has that type of confusion. Between Cook, there's Chestnut, which does have a blind spot as well. Chestnut could use the help. Everyone can see out of Elm. If you're making a right out of Elm, you have a perfect path down to see what's left of you coming eastbound. If you're making a left out of Elm, you also have the diagonal distance to see what's coming this way. So those people don't suffer with that issue. So I'm not here to oppose any type of safety measurements that can take place to quell the speed, and I'm for it.
Well, it's not about the speed. It's what you just said. It's the sight distance of pulling out, and you can't see the vehicles coming because of the wall, because of the height of the road.
So that was, it was, these stop signs were proposed for speeding or just sight?
For sight distance for people pulling out, that they don't get T-boned like coming out of your driveway. So you're saying out of your driveway, you never have a problem seeing cars
No,
coming?
I don't, it's the people past the crest that have an issue. It wouldn't help anyone, it wouldn't
do
help
Elm.
anyone on Elm. I think if you put two on
At Cook.
on Cook.
Yeah, that's
that-
what you said in the email.
Yeah,
Right,
that will make a difference. And it'll take some time for people to get used to, just like, everyone there's a few cross-towners, they don't want to go on 6, they come on Wixon, they go all the way across town. You guys, I'm sure, have seen that. Maybe have done that too. But people do that. So I think that would help greatly. I think that part of the community, they're in more jeopardy than we have a really clear sight. But I would like to see a speed radar sign. Speed radar signs, I've done some research since I've heard about this topic, and speed radar signs lower speeding effectively by 80%. So I don't know about you guys, but when I see one and it's showing my speed and it's blinking, if it's a 40, I'm going 45, it's blinking. I would have never thought, I go, holy cow. And I go right down a speed limit. I don't want to see that thing blinking. And I notice it works. People do that. People aren't trying to speed and do this. It happens. People go over the limit, but they need to be reminded sometimes. And I don't think there's no speed limit sign there to remind someone in that really open area, which I've taken pictures and showed. There's not one speed sign. There's not one slow sign. There aren't any signs. In that one, that's the area that can get people in trouble. And I think right outside of Wixon Pond Heights, or in that path, or right as soon as the turns end and it starts going eastbound towards that end of town, you can make some good changes there with some signs. And that's basically what I recommend. And
Thank you for all that work you put into it.
no,
Appreciate it.
I care greatly about
We'll
the community.
discuss it, and
Thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
yeah.
And, thank you for letting me speak. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Anybody from Bucks Hollow or,
So just wanted to just make a comment about the stop signs on Bloomer and Bucks Hollow. I actually think it's a great idea. As a mom who carpools frequently with families in that neighborhood, it actually is really difficult to make a left or right out of there because both turns are blind. So I think the stop signs are a great idea. Just one other thought on it. Our children that live in that neighborhood frequently cross there to go to the bike path. There's like an opening there. So just a suggestion to include maybe a crosswalk as well with a pedestrian sign. it's just dangerous for the kids to go across. I know the stop signs will help, but if there's a crosswalk there too, I think that would be really helpful and definitely protect the safety of the children.
Thank you, very insightful, thank you. Oh, Kevin wants you to write your name down, please. Thanks.
You don't know who I am.
Kevin doesn't. He forgot.
I forgot too. So, anyone else? All right, if there are no other public comments, can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So does the board want
So what we
to
can do-
discuss this?
My suggestion is that we, based upon the comments and suggestions, speak to police chief, speak to the highway superintendent
Right.
about those couple of
About Wixon,
changes.
yeah.
About Wixon, and also, I mean, not that it's part of the public hearing, but adding the crosswalk to Bucks Hollow as well.
And
see
maybe
what-
having 2 on Cook
Yeah.
and none on Elm. You know,
Yeah,
ju-
see what the
just-
highway-
just
So we'll have to do
looking
another
at it
public
again.
hearing then.
That's fine,
Yeah.
we're
Okay.
that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, we're
We
doing,
wanna get it
let's do it
right.
right. So, I agree,
That's
we'll do
correct.
another one. Thank you for that.
Is
Thank
that
you.
okay? Good?
And Chief, maybe you could
Chief?
just, you know, go check those areas and just give us a little feedback as to what your thought is? Okay, thank you. Same thing,
Perfect.
Mike, you can maybe just take a look and see if, make some comment about particular changes to this here.
He agreed with the 2 stop signs. He already told me earlier.
Oh, the 2 stop signs on Cook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did his due diligence.
So let's-
And the reason why there are no, yes, the reason why there aren't stop signs everywhere, because the town has a speed limit. So when you come from East Lake Boulevard onto Wixon Pond Road, there's a stop sign. You're transitioning from County Road to Town Road. So all town roads are supposed to be marked, but it doesn't hurt to have slow signs, I guess.
Thank you for your help.
Couple, that's what he says, yeah.
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 And then, Chief, maybe you can just look also into the speed radar sign? Got it. All right,
Wow.
perfect. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Perfect.
So can we get a motion to open the voting meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Lombardi and Kearns, and all in favor?
Aye.
So I ask for another motion to accept the town board minutes that Alice Daly provided to you from June 19th and July 10th.
So moved.
Second.
Second from McDonough, and all in favor?
Aye.
Our first resolution is accepting proposal for extending the agreement for cybersecurity services. Councilman Lombardi, could you read that for us?
Sure. Resolved, the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the extension of its existing agreement for cybersecurity service with NACA Technologies, LLC, Central Islip, New York, for a period of 1 year commencing July 19, 2024 through July 18, 2025, at an annual cost of $4,703.83. And be it further resolved that upon insurance certificates and form acceptable to Town Council, Town Supervisor Michael Cazzari is hereby authorized to execute any and all necessary documents to effectuate such contract extension. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by McDonough. Could we get a roll call, please?
Councilman Kearns?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Cazzari?
Yes. The next resolution is accepting proposal and extending agreement for wireless network support services. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the extension of its existing agreement for wireless network support services from NACA Technology, LLC, Central Islip, New York, for a period of 1 year commencing July 25th, 2024 through July 25th, 2025, at an annual cost of $616.30. And be it further resolved that upon review of insurance certificates in the form acceptable to Town Council, Town Supervisor Michael Cazzari is hereby authorized to execute any other and further documentation necessary to effect such contract extension. I offer this as read.
Second.
Second by McDonough and Kearns. Can we have a roll call, please?
Councilman Kearns?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Cazzari?
Yes. Number 3 is a resolution accepting proposal for environmental site assessment services. Councilwoman McDonough, could you read that?
Sure. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby accepts the proposals of Hydro Environmental Solutions, Inc., Croton Falls, New York, for the provision of Phase 1 environmental site assessment services for the properties located at 178 East Lakes Boulevard, 179 East Lake Boulevard, and 740 Route 6, Mahopac, New York, at costs not to exceed $4,500 per property. And be further resolved that upon review of insurance certificates in form acceptable to town attorney, town supervisor Michael Cazzari is hereby authorized to countersign agreements for the reference services, copies of which are on file in the office of the town supervisor. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Second by Kearns. Can we get a roll call, please?
Councilman Kearns?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Cazzari?
Yes. The fourth resolution is authorizing scheduling of a public hearing. Councilman Kearns, could you read that for us?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the scheduling of a public hearing at Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, 10541, on Wednesday, September 18, 2024, at 7 p.m., or as soon thereafter that evening as possible, on a proposed local law amending Chapter 156 of the Code of the Town of Carmel entitled Zoning. And be it further resolved that the town clerk, Alice Daly, is hereby authorized and instructed to publish and post the necessary notices in the official newspapers of the town and on the town bulletin board regarding the public hearing. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. The next resolution is authorizing the release of bond. Councilman Lombardi, could you read that?
Whereas an application has been made by Regina Jedlicka for the total release of a site plan posted in accordance with land subdivision and/or zoning regulations for tax map number 64.13-1-16 with respect to a site plan approval issued for the aforesaid property. And whereas such application has been reviewed by the town engineer and release of the bond has been recommended and approved by the town engineer and the Town of Carmel Planning Board, now therefore be resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the release of the bond posted, Tompkins Bank Bond Number 185877, in the amount of $12,000. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman McDonough. Can we get a roll call, please?
Councilman Kearns?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Cazzari?
Yes. The sixth resolution is authorizing release of bond, whereas application has been made by the representatives of the Binns Family Trust for the total release of a site plan bond posted in accordance with the land subdivision and/or zoning regulations for tax map 75.20-2-2 with respect to a site plan approval issued for the aforesaid property located at 5 Vesey Lane South, Mahopac, New York, and whereas said application has been reviewed by the town engineer and release of the bond has been recommended and approved by the town engineer and the Town of Carmel Planning Board, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the release of a site bond posted in the amount of $15,000. I offer this as read.
Second.
Second by McDonough. Can we get a roll call, please?
Councilman Kearns?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Cazzari?
Yes. The next resolution is making appointment to the Environmental Conservation Board of the Town of Carmel. Councilwoman McDonough, could you read that?
Sure. Resolved that Robert Laga is hereby reappointed to the Town of Carmel Environmental Conservation Board for a year term commencing immediately and expiring on June 13th, 2026. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by both.
You know what? This doesn't, it's 24, right? So
Should be for a term.
2026 is 2 years.
Right.
And this is saying for a year term. So a year term is 1 year. So it's either for multiple, for
2 years or
2 year
1
term,
year.
or it's for 1 year. This is wrong.
Oh.
Something's not right here. It's either got to be June 13th, 2025, or it has to be 2 years. So we can't vote on this tonight.
You know, it's saying
It's
a
missing it.
term, a year.
A year
Let's take the
term
word year.
So that
commencing
means it would
immediately.
expire June
It would
13th.
expire
Year lead term?
June 13th, 2025
But if you take
then.
out the word year, just take out the word year, for a
Cross out the
term
word year.
commencing.
Yes. Yes, strike the word year.
But then
Next
it would
term.
go down to,
It would just be a
but
term
what is
commencing.
it, but is it a 2-year term?
It was a 2-year term, yeah.
Oh, so a year is not supposed to be in the phrase.
Right.
You're sure it's a 2-year term?
Yep.
You're asking me? No, I'm
No,
not.
that's what it is.
2 year, yeah, so then, yeah.
So a motion to accept it without the word year.
Susie's got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
and a second?
Second.
And I guess we have to do a roll call because there's money involved, right?
2026.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Councilman
Please.
Kearns?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi? Supervisor Cazzari?
Yes. Thank you, Sue.
Yep.
Number 8 is a resolution authorizing acceptance of a proposal. Councilman Kearns, could you read that?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the acceptance of the proposal for AI implementation and support from Stella AI, New York, at a monthly cost of $199. Said proposal to be informed as attached hereto and made a part hereof. I offer this resolution as read.
I second it, but I just want to make people aware that it's from August 2024 to August 2025. It's not an indefinite monthly fee.
It's a year.
That's according to the contract, yeah. The term is August 7th, 2024 to August 7th, 2025. So that should be
I thought
on
we
the
were getting
resolution.
I thought we were getting a 2-month trial, a free trial. So wouldn't that commence in September, not August? June and July. June and July. When did we implement it? In June?
So I just think, again, the resolution
amend-
needs to be
amend the
amended
resolution.
to show, you would have to amend it at a monthly, you know, the term is from August 7th, 2024 to August 7th, 2025.
I make a motion to amend the resolution for a yearly proposal.
Alice, got that?
So August 7,
For all-
2024?
for the
to
term.
For August, yeah,
7,
August 7,
2025.
2024 to August 7,
Right.
2025.
Commencing August 7,
25.
Got it.
2024, and terminating August 6, 2025.
Got it.
I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
And then a roll call, please.
Councilman Kearns?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Cazzari?
Yes. Number 9 is a resolution authorizing acceptance of proposal for professional services culvert rehabilitation. Councilman Lombardi?
Resolved, the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the acceptance of the proposal of J. Robert Fulchetti and Associates, LLC, Brewster, New York, for professional engineering services requiring for the design, permitting, bid assistance, and construction administrative services required in connection with the culvert rehabilitation on Baldwin Lane at the premises of 1003 Route 6, tax map 65.10-1-44. And be it further resolved that such proposal shall be informed as attached hereto and made part hereof. And be it further resolved, the Town Supervisor, Michael Cazzari, is hereby authorized to sign any and all documentation necessary to accept the proposal and authorize the action contained herein. And be it further resolved, the Town Controller, Mary Ann Maxwell, is hereby authorized to make any and all necessary budget transfers or modifications required to fund the cost of this authorization. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Kearns?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Cazzari?
Yes. Next resolution is authorizing the execution of amendment to payment in lieu of taxes pilot agreement. Whereas pursuant, I said pursuant. Whereas pursuant to authorization of the Town of Carmel, Town Board, we erased it, adopted on April 21st, 2022, the Hamlet of Carmel Housing Development Fund Company, Inc., HDFC, and the Hamlet of Carmel Limited Partnership, a New York limited partnership, the partnership, entered into an agreement for payment in lieu of taxes, the original pilot, with respect to land located at 650 Stoneleigh Avenue in the town of Carmel, Putnam County, state of New York, the land. And now desire to amend the original pilot to reference the assigned tax map identification number of the land pursuant to the first amendment to pilot agreement, the amended pilot agreement. Now therefore be it resolved that the members of the town board hereby approve the amended pilot agreement and among the town of Carmel, the partnership, and the HDFC, and subsequently the form presented at this meeting, providing for annual payments as set forth in such agreement, and be it further resolved that the town supervisor of the town of Carmel is hereby authorized to execute and deliver the foregoing amended pilot agreement on behalf of the town, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. I offer this resolution as
That
read.
was a tongue twister. That was a tongue twister.
Yeah, I'm glad I got that one.
Roll call.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Kearns?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Cazzari?
Yes. Number 11 is resolution of the town board of the town of Carmel authorizing the execution of a payment in lieu of tax pilot agreement by and among the town of Carmel, New York, Reservoir Place Housing Development Fund Company, Inc., and Reservoir Place Carmel Limited Partnership. Councilwoman McDonough, could you read that?
Sure. Whereas the town of Carmel, the town, desires to encourage the development of affordable housing that is safe and sanitary, and whereas Reservoir Place Housing Development Fund Company, Inc., and Article 11, New York Private Housing Finance Law Corporation, and a New York Not-for-Profit Corporation, the HDFC, and the Reservoir Place Carmel Limited Partnership, a New York Limited Partnership, the partnership, have identified property located at 650 Stoneleigh Avenue in the town of Carmel, county of Putnam, state of New York, identified as Section 66, Block 2, Lot 58.-1, the land, for the purpose of constructing on the land a housing project for persons of low and middle income. Said project to consist of I, the acquisition of the land, 1. 2, the construction thereon of 75 units of housing for persons of low and middle income, including 1 superintendent's unit and related improvements to be known as Reservoir Place, the improvements. And 3, the acquisition and installation therein and thereon of certain machinery, equipment, furniture, fixtures, and other tangible personal property, the equipment, and collectively with the land and the improvements, the project. And whereas the HDFC has been or will be formed for the purpose of providing residential rental accommodations for persons of low and middle income. And whereas the HDFC will acquire ground leasehold title to the land as nominee for the partnership and will convey its equitable and beneficial interest in the land to the partnership in furtherance of the development of the project. And whereas the HDFC's and the partnership's plan for the use of the land constitute a housing project as that term is defined in the Private Housing Finance Law of the State of New York, PHFL. And whereas the HDFC is or will be a housing development fund company, as the term is defined in Section 572 of the PHFL and Section 577 of the PHFL, authorizes the members of the town board to exempt the project from real property taxes. And whereas the HDFC is or will be a co-general partner of the partnership, and whereas the partnership and the HDFC will be willing to enter into a pilot agreement whereby they will make annual payments in lieu of taxes to the town as set forth in the pilot agreement presented to the members of the town board for approval. Now therefore be it resolved that the members of the town board hereby exempt the project from real property taxes to the extent authorized by Section 577 of the PHFL and approve the proposed pilot agreement by and among the town of Carmel, the partnership, and the HDFC in substantially the form presented at this meeting, providing for annual payments as set forth in such agreement. And be it further resolved that the town supervisor of the town of Carmel is hereby authorized to execute and deliver the foregoing pilot agreement on behalf of the town. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Kearns?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi? Supervisor Cazzari?
Yes. Number 12 is authorizing the purchase of equipment, Town of Carmel Highway Department. Councilman Kearns, could you read that?
Whereas the New York State Department of Health has mandated that localities within the state of New York conduct random sampling of water service lines as part of the compiling a lead service line inventory, and whereas the regulatory mandates imposed by the New York State Department of Health require that such the investigation and preparation of said inventory apply to both private and publicly owned service lines, and whereas such mandates were imposed by the New York State Department of Health requiring that such inventory, including preliminary investigation, fieldwork to physically expose over 200 service lines and compile the final inventory for submission by October of 2024. Now therefore be it resolved that in light of the emergency that exists with respect to the imminent deadline for regulatory compliance, the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the purchase of a Vector 2100I combination sewer cleaner vehicle unit from Team JDC Northville, Michigan, at a cost not to exceed $611,162.40, and in accordance with the proposal dated June 24, 2024, and be it further resolved that such purchase also be authorized pursuant to New York General Municipal Law, Section 103, under Sourcewell Contract Number 101221-VTR. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Second. Third.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Kearns?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Cazzari?
Yes.
Another unfunded mandate.
Before you close the meeting, this is wrong.
Okay. And our last resolution for the voting meeting is authorizing the purchase of a radar trailer for the Town of Carmel Police Department. Councilman Lombardi, could you read that?
Sure. Resolve the Town Board of Town of Carmel, upon the request and recommendation of Chief of Police Anthony Hoffman, hereby authorizes the purchase of an ATS-5 380 ALPR radar trailer unit from All Traffic Solutions, State College, Pennsylvania, at a cost not to exceed $27,063.46 under Sourcewell Contract 090122-ATS pursuant to New York General Municipal Law, Section 103-16. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Second by McDonough. Can we get a roll call, please?
Councilman Kearns?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Cazzari?
Yes.
So Alice, resolution number 7 regarding the ECB, it's actually a 5-year term. So what do we do? Because I know we voted on it, but it's wrong. It was on here a year term, and then it was switched to a 2-year term, but it should be a 5-year term. So can we?
But it's not 5
amend-
years because he's coming back on.
It's a reappointment.
Right,
So
so it's
he
just the
finished
term.
his term.
So he's just finishing the term commencing,
No, he finished his 5-year term.
no, he just came off. He asked to come off and come back on. It's only been
So he took a
month.
hiatus?
He took a month off. He's just coming back on, not for 5 years, just for.
To finish his
But-
original term?
But then,
finish his term.
that's finish his original term.
Right, so a term starting
Which would
immediately
have
and
ended-
finishing
But
up
we,
then.
So this is when his original term expires. So it's just until his original 5-year term expires.
He's just completing the term commencing immediately.
all right.
But we should get
But,
clarification on that.
yeah, because if he came off, he's not being reappointed. If he, I'm too confused with this one. If he came off and he was still on the board, but he just got, like, he just took off for a leave of absence
No,
or
he
something.
came off, we voted him off.
So why don't we
But then,
discuss
but then
this
if
with
you,
Greg?
yeah, let's discuss
it
with Greg.
and
Because then
figure it
if
out.
he was off the board, then he's off the board. And if you want to come back on, then you're coming back on as a new member. That's what I would think.
Let's discuss
Greg,
it.
can you
Let's
hear us?
discuss this with
Yeah, let's
Greg.
discuss it with Greg and then we'll come to, we'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
All right, if we have to fix it, we fix it.
Fix it.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
good the way it is at the moment.
So it passed.
Yeah, just
At
leave
the
it as
moment,
is.
yeah,
yep.
Got it.
all right. So a motion to adjourn the voting meeting.
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Can we get a motion to open up the work session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Alice.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, Alice. Came on, took leave.
So I asked the town board to review the town board minutes from the July 17, 2024 meeting that our town clerk, Alice Daly, has provided for you. The first item on the work session is our police chief, Anthony Hoffman. Consider request to purchase a drone. Thank you for coming, chief.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, members of the board. I have a couple of items before you this evening. The first, as you said, is being the purchase of the unmanned aerial vehicle, also known as a drone. As the board is aware, we were awarded over $400,000 in grant funding from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services for technology upgrades for the police department. One of the items that we asked for consideration in was the purchase of a drone, as we currently have one FAA certified drone pilot, and we're looking to get another. Based on our pilot's recommendations, Officer Rocco, our drone pilot, he recommends that we purchase a DJI Matrice 30T UAV drone and accessories. And the best price out of all the vendors that we canvassed was Terrestrial Imaging of Brick, New Jersey. There is one minor detail in there for explanation. The radar trailer that we just voted on was based off a Sourcewell contract. The lowest bid on this particular item is a Sourcewell contract, but we went with the second lowest bid because of the difference between goods and services and goods. The radar trailer is just solely goods, and that was good to go. This Sourcewell bid was goods and services, which does not conform to our procurement policy. That's why we went with the second lowest bid. So therefore, I recommend the town board resolution in an amount not to exceed $14,700 to Terrestrial Imaging of Brick, New Jersey for the purchase of the drone. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Okay, and your second item about our notification system?
Yes, as the board is aware, we have a notification system currently. It is, it's called Everbridge. It is non-functioning. We've had a great amount of difficulty with it. It really never got off the ground. I've been in touch with the town council, Fulchetti, to see what sort of recourse we have legally. That being said, we still need a notification system, and we've been doing our homework along with Chief of Staff Kearns, Town Engineer Fulchetti. We were able to get a demo recently from the OnSolve company for their Code Red platform. We all liked it. We thought it was much more user-friendly. The representatives, their communication was night and day better than what we experienced with Everbridge. And then we were able to get a number of local clients that they already have. We did our due diligence with them. We checked into them. We liked what we're seeing from these other jurisdictions. So I would recommend that, and I'm not certain, maybe Mary Ann can help me with this, but I don't know if we need a resolution on it, but if we can transfer the money that we have allocated for that Everbridge system to go over to this Code Red system and start utilizing this as a mass notification system, just so we can get up and running. That's what the police department would recommend, and I would think that the other town departments that were on that demo would agree with me. So, thank you. Okay.
How long will it take them to implement it?
They said within 30 days. In addition to the implementation, they have an onboarding process. They were going to, and as part of the quote here, they're going to give us 10 extra hours of training that we did not get with the Everbridge system. That was one of the problems that we had with them. We found that that was available, but they didn't offer it to us. So we made sure that we vetted these guys pretty heavily. We went after them pretty much with all our concerns with the old system, and they addressed each one, and we were satisfied with their answers.
Great. Thanks, Chief.
And then your final item is the purchase of a radio console?
Okay, yes, number 3. The Putnam County Department of Information Technology is spearheading the Putnam County Radio Project in order to improve communications for public safety and hopefully also encompass DPWs, highway departments, buses, and the like. The first part of implementing that is public safety. It's police and fire communications. And to that, We've received, well, the county has received a large amount of grant funding on the state and federal level, which has provided subscriber equipment in the radio realm. That would be your portable walkie-talkie radios and your car radios. Unfortunately, this grant funding did not include the console radios that we have to put downstairs at headquarters in our dispatch area. Each municipality is responsible for that because of the different specifications that each municipality has with their separate dispatch areas. So we were able to contact ESS Communications of Elmsford. We got a quote on the New York State OGS contract PT 68722 for 2 console systems because we have 2 dispatch areas down at headquarters. They are Avtech Scout EX radio consoles. They're made by Motorola, which kind of coincides with all the other equipment, so we're not going to have any sort of conflict there. The total amount would be $76,116.41 for the purchase of these, and $3,429.84 to Electronic Service Solutions, ESS of Elmsford, for the installation. Now, the money for this purchase is going to actually also come from that law enforcement technology grant. We didn't initially ask for radio consoles. We asked for a 3D crime scene laser scanner for crime scenes and accident scenes. But we found out the town of Kent had also requested that and was granted that and is going to purchase that. So we're going to collaboratively use that device with them, which frees up about $100,000, which enables us to buy this completely on the grant without any cost to the town. So I would recommend that we pass a resolution for that amount as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, thank you.
Oh, and I believe that is it. If I could
Thanks,
just
Chief.
make one announcement. We had our National Night Out canceled last night, unfortunately, because of rain. We've rescheduled it to Wednesday, August 21st at Chamber Park from 6 to 9 p.m. So we hope to see everyone there.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good night.
Too.
So our 4th, 5th, and 6th items are with Michael Stern, our Highway Superintendent. First up is authorizing the approval of bulk storage compliance inspection program agreement. Before you start, I want to thank you for the work you did on Bucks Hollow Road. So I don't know if the people that were here from Bucks Hollow have left, but there was a water problem as far back as I can remember, and that is years, flooding in front of the Italian-American Club and the Verizon building, and our highway superintendent worked with Verizon, was able to mitigate that water. And thank you, Mike, for doing that.
You're welcome, and I think that's very nice of you, but it was a group effort. It took everybody involved, yourself included, and Greg, and it finally came to a conclusion where we hopefully got that, fixed.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it wouldn't
It'll
have
be
happened.
good. Hopefully no more ice.
That wouldn't happen
froze
without-
a lot in the winter.
Yeah, it was all winter.
It's bad, yeah.
So I'm glad it's fixed, and we've put a basin in front of the Italian-American Club to help them out as well.
Yeah, but it's been going on forever, and it wouldn't have happened if you weren't
Well, thank you.
cooperative. So
Glad
thank
to
you.
do it. So the first thing, I'm requesting authorization for approval of the bulk storage compliance inspection program agreement dated January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2027, per the attached. It's just basically coming out and inspecting our fuel tanks at our location next door and up in the Carmel yard. Any questions on that one? Okay.
And then a lift truck.
Next is our lift truck. So after the wind and tree storms about a month and a half ago, our tree truck was having some issues, so we got quotes from all over and ended up going out to a Altech facility in Pennsylvania where the quote was $15,000 less, and those are the ones who actually make and service the boom truck, the boom part of the lift. And when they had it up, another problem arose with a drum which is inside it, and that's all safety related. So we have to do an emergency request to get that fixed, and hopefully that will be back next week. But if we had gone with our local guy, it would have been, significantly more money and a lot more time. So
So the 19,000, is that just to replace the drum, or is that all the work?
that's all. All right, so just requesting per the quotes associated to the PO number 36817 to Altech Industries. Again, once it was up in the shop, it was discovered the further repairs were needed, so we need our, bucket truck back to do a lot of tree work still, so
Yep.
we're hoping it'll be back next week.
And then you have a comp time memo?
Yes. One of our employees has been undergoing some issues, and he's been out for about 6 months right now. He's going to need another 3-month extension, or actually, he's been out 9 months. This is his last 3 months of an extension, and he has to go for further surgeries and things like that. So right now, we're requesting another 3 months for him so he can get his answers and hopefully heal up. Okay. Any questions?
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you guys very much. Appreciate all the support.
So 7 and 8 is with our Director of Recreations and Parks, Nina Kalmeyer. First up is the consideration of purchasing picnic tables and benches. Nina?
Thank you guys for having me. All right, so first we are requesting picnic tables for the Airport Park and Swan Cove. As we continue to increase our recreation programs and events throughout our park system, we're seeing that we need a lot more picnic tables, benches in the different parks. The Airport Park, we are looking to add 4 8-foot tables, 4 round portable picnic tables, 4 ADA round picnic tables, and 4 benches. We spoke with MSA earlier in the year. We're looking to really add these tables to the area that they have next to the concession stand, as well as areas around the playground that is completed. So I was just up there the other day, and we need some different seating areas for those different portions of the park, which would be great. We did have funds in 2023 that we were able to carry over for this. That is in the budget right now. And then Swan Cove as well. As you guys know, a lot of people like to go and enjoy the park down there. Right now, we only have 2 picnic tables down there. We are requesting to purchase 2 more picnic tables, 8-foot tables, as well as 2 round tables and 1 ADA table for Swan Cove. The good thing is we can move them if needed. So once we start the construction and the project down there, we can move them out of the way and then bring them back to the park once it's complete. So we did get 3 prices. U-Line came in at the lowest, $23,026.87. I am requesting authorization to proceed with this purchase and go with U-Line, who submitted the lowest quote.
Nina, 12, did you, obviously you did.
Yeah.
Because it's 12 picnic tables up there at Airport
Yeah.
Park in that area by the,
So I'm not going to put all of
I'm
them
just-
there.
I'm just
So
worried
we're
that that's a
going to
lot.
put, it is a lot for right there. So right now, we have some of our green picnic tables up there that we brought up for the egg hunt, just for the time being. So we're going to take those back to Sycamore, which we really need those for camp and for some of the other parks to kind of spread them out.
Okay.
And then at the airport, we'll put some of those tables up by the concession. Some will be over by the playground, and then I know that lacrosse was asking for some tables down at the end for them, as well as some of the different soccer areas. So with the combination of the benches and the tables, we'll be able to spread them out. It won't be
Okay.
12 tables in one spot.
Yeah.
They'll be
Okay.
spread out around the park.
I was
Okay.
up there 2 weeks ago. There was 3 soccer games going on at one time, and it was just it was mayhem. There was nowhere for anyone to sit.
Shade.
So
Yeah,
we need shade.
yeah, and the
I
shade,
think, I
the
think,
shade.
I think it'd be beneficial.
So yeah, we do have some money that we also carried over from 2023 for shade structures. So we're looking into that too, more of the sail shading that you see in parks.
Yeah.
So it's not something that you can take down
And
in
now
the
with
winter.
the playground, you're going to even have more people frequenting.
Yeah, you know, a good spot to sit is underneath one of the playground
Yeah.
equipment. I was in there this weekend. It's a nice little shady spot under there.
My
Perfect for a parent.
grandbabies went in there. I
Yeah.
could not get them to leave. We
Oh,
took a really
good.
cute picture off the show too.
Oh, yes, please send them.
They had a blast.
Yeah,
A
awesome.
blast.
I was trying to
I
get
love
Dave
hear
to
that.
go down the slide when we were up there last week. He wouldn't do it.
Gotta get a video of him. Definitely.
All right, thank you.
Of
And
course.
then next is pavers.
Yep, so to really finalize the playground up at the airport park, we are requesting authorization to install a paver pathway from the playground to, or from the parking lot to the playground. I did attach a drawing for you guys to see. So up there, it would be a permeable path from the parking area to the playground. It will include fixing one of the guardrails up there that is broken. We will remove one of the guardrails that is closest to the playground area so that it's a straight shot from the parking lot to the playground. We're going to add some additional handicap spots right next to that. So because this is an inclusive playground, we really thought that it was important to have a walkway that is ADA accessible to get, different patrons from the parking lot to the actual playground. So this project would allow us to finish that out, and once that is complete, we are looking to do a grand opening of the playground up there. As of right now, it is open, but we would like for all aspects to be completed before we do a large grand opening. Any questions on the pathway? The lowest quote was Vinco. They came in at $19,900. We do have money in the budget to cover this expense.
We'll get this done this year, Nina?
Yeah, if it is approved, we are looking to move forward and have it done by the first week in September.
I'm looking at the proposals. They didn't give us an itemized, it's just,
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. They didn't give us a unit price, like to remove the guardrail and relocate, to excavate and prep for the pavers, to install the pavers. What is the cleanup sign and the,
So on the spec, we did ask them to
They just gave
include
a
all of those
price.
things. I can reach out to them and
Yeah,
ask them to itemize everything.
because Maple
Absolutely.
Leaf, they itemized everything here.
So yeah, Maple Leaf did. PVC Construction really just gave us a total based off of the
Yeah.
drawings and the information in the drawing, but I can get
Yeah, I'd
clarification
see, like,
and send that over to you
itemized
guys.
breakdown.
Yeah, of course.
because like on here, like I'm just such like a nitpicker sometimes with this stuff, but I don't even see a price for the pavers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It says remove the guardrail, excavate, install, clean up, and unless the bollards wouldn't, I don't know what a bollard is.
Bollards. It's-
Bollards, they're,
I don't think
like
there's,
secure, it's
but
like-
Yeah.
I don't even see.
I can ask them to give us a
I
breakdown.
don't even,
I guess the
see-
install pavers, but that would be labor.
But that would
Yeah,
be
it's not
labor.
material.
In my, when I look at proposals to install something, that's not. Yeah, so they
This
need
needs to
to
get
break it
cleaned
out.
out, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask them to break it out and I'll send it back over to you
Thank
guys. Yeah, of course.
But at the end of the day, it's still the cheapest bid, correct?
Well,
Yeah,
it
but
is,
still, I
it
wanna
is
see where the money's
if.
going.
You know what? The devil's in the details, something comes back wrong and.
Yeah, I want to see where everything's going.
Yeah, like on here, if you look, it doesn't even look like they're including the pavers with this
No, it should be,
contract.
right.
No worries. I'll ask them to send that over tomorrow and then I'll send that to you guys.
Thank you,
Yep.
Nina.
All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
This is the last week of summer camp, right?
Yes, so tomorrow and Friday, we're hoping to finish out strong. Friday is not looking the best, but yes, we're at the end. I can't believe it already. It was a great summer. Ups and downs, but we made it. We are here, and we hope all the kids really enjoyed their summer.
Yeah, my son had a blast. And
Good.
I happened to be out there 2 weeks ago, and the lifeguards, they did a drill because they thought there was a missing
Yep, a
camper.
standby,
And
yeah.
I was blown away by how organized and efficient they were. They looked like a SWAT team in the water.
They're great.
So, yeah, it was
They trained
awesome.
for that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I'm glad that you got to see it. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Nina. So number 9 and 10 is our town engineer, Richard J. Franzetti. First up, a proposal for duct cleaning. Rich?
Good evening, everyone. How are you all?
Good.
Yes, as Supervisor mentioned, it has to do with duct cleaning here in Town Hall. Proposals were solicited from 12 contractors for duct cleaning. Proposals were posted on New York State BidNet and the town's webpage. There's a completed vendors list that was provided. Three proposals were received. and the results were that Hughes Environmental at 7,900 was the lowest proposer. We contacted references by Hughes Environmental, and they're on file at the town in my office. Based on the evaluation and relative cost and proposed scope of work, we recommend the contract be awarded to Hughes Environmental. They got glowing reviews from the folks that we spoke to.
We're gonna do this once a year, Rich? Rec-
I-
How often do we do it?
The last time we did it was 2017. It might have been, we looked at it in 2022, but it might have been 2017 or 2018, I forget.
Okay.
So,
So Rich, it's the 7,900, right? But on the cover sheet, it says something about a proposed price being increased by approximately $12.85.
if they needed to have premium endorsements, so so we're gonna get the insurance that they're gonna provide us.
Oh, okay.
If we have to do additional, it would cost that much, but we don't normally require that. If we do, then maybe the board, if they're gonna accept this, accept it with that as the caveat with it also. But the 7,900 plus that 1,200 would still be less than the second bid proposer, so.
Okay.
I can ask Greg that question. I can send this off to him, see what that means.
Okay. Perfect, thank you.
And then you want to talk about the change to the scope at the Lake Mahopac Dam engineering assessment?
So the board is aware, in July of 2020, the town has been under a consent order to bring Lake Mahopac Dam, or Lake Mahopac Dam, into compliance with state regulations. We engaged Schnabel Engineering to develop an EA for the dam. The work has been completed. It should note that part of that EA classification, the dam was lowered from a high hazard Class C to an intermediate hazard Class B dam. That's a good thing. The department requested Schnabel Engineering provide a proposal to develop permit applications, including bid assistance and construction oversight. This work was approved in May of 2022 in the amount of $64,400. Work for the rehabilitation of the dam was awarded to the lowest bidder, Commercial Sweeping Services, in October of '23. As identified by Schnabel, they had to perform some additional services addressing CSS initial rejection of the award. Weekly progress meeting is beginning in December to encourage compliance. Project delays due to wet spring, which led to additional contractor coordination, site visits for the draining, inspection, and measurement of the spillway structure. They provided an attached request for additional funding in the amount of $9,500 to account for that additional work and to ensure that the order on consent requirement is met, and there are sufficient funds in the budget for this work, and we recommend that the scope change be awarded and approved.
Just one question. So it says that they had to do additional services, and the first one addressing CSS initial rejection of the award. Why? Does it go into details or just to?
We had discussed this, so I think initially CSS did not want this, so they put a bid in, it was the lowest bid, and then they said, we don't want to do the work.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
we said, we're going to call you bond, and then they said, you know what, I think we'll do the work.
Yep,
So,
okay.
in short.
I just had to
Right.
refresh my memory.
They're good,
Thank
they're a
you.
good contractor. I don't know why that all happened and went
Yeah,
down, but it
okay.
is what it is, so.
Yep, just had to refresh. Thank you, Rich.
Any other questions?
So it's all functioning now?
No, so they've ordered they're ordering the gate valve, so no, the work has not been completed at the dam yet. So they have ordered the gate valve that has to be manufactured and then get installed. Probably will happen in the fall, depending on when, I'll advise the board when I get a better handle on it, because right now it's on order, so we're waiting to hear back from the manufacturer when they're gonna get it to us. But once that comes in, CSS will come back and we'll put the gate valve, we move the old gate valve, put the new gate valve in, put the structure so we can stand over there and be safe and make it a little, make it a real dam. Otherwise, they've removed the trees and they've compacted the hole that the trees have. There were 2 trees that needed to be removed for some electrical wiring. That work is completed. Now the big work is the gate valve and making sure that that functions. So other than that, once that's completed, we will be meeting the requirements of the order on consent. So there might be a time where we have to request to the state again for another, extension of that term for the consent decree. They've granted us a couple before. It's not a big issue. As long as we're not telling them, to pound salt, which we're not, we're working toward an endpoint, they're more than happy to allow us to have that. So, I don't want to be smug about it. They can always say, no, we don't want to give it to you, we're going to fine you, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So.
Thank you.
And when the gate valve comes in, CSS isn't going to come back to us and say they need more money, right? That's part of this?
I don't believe, no, they're not, because that's part of the original program that they had, yes.
That's what I want to, yeah, okay. Perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment? Okay, seeing as no one that wants to comment, motion to adjourn the work session.
Second, or so moved.
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Announcements?
Oh, announcements?
Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that on September 18th, as we know, the public hearing for the zoning is going to be on it, but it's also going to be the public hearing for the comprehensive plan. Remember, we kind of held that open. And we'll probably next week put a resolution on for that. But that night, the 18th, will be the comprehensive plan. Hopefully, we'll be able to close that out that night, vote on it, and then open the zoning and hear people's comments for that.
Do I mention the Piazza?
All right, and I have two, There's a Ferragosto, the Italian American Club is having Ferragosto evening at the Piazza on August 17th here at Chamber of Commerce Park. It'll be a great day. I think it starts from 12 o'clock on, music and food and the whole bit. So they've had it for the last couple of years. It's always been a great success. So look out for that. And then also there's the 5th annual Back to Blue Prayer Walk. September 22nd is the 5th annual, and this year it's going to be in honor of one of our own, Detective John Falcone, who lived in the Hamlet before he passed away. Starting at 12:30, walk starts at 1:15. It's at Camarda Park, at Seminary Hill Road. All right?
Thanks.
Oh, me. I just want to announce that we held our first fishing clinic with Councilman Kearns and the Putnam County Federation Sporting Club on July 20th. We had a huge turnout. 50 kids from the town of Carmel showed up. We gave them all a tackle box, fishing pole. Nina was on site to help us corral everybody. The kids caught everything from catfish to pumpkin seeds, and everyone had a great time, and we look forward to doing it again next year. That's it.
Awesome.
Excellent. So we have discussion of the ARPA funds, litigation, and contract to talk about in executive session. Can I get a motion to go to executive session? All right, all in favor? Oh, and we're having a meeting on the 14th, next Wednesday, same time. Thanks.